A very good morning to all. Myself Dr. Kalpana Tiwari. I am Associate Professor, Unit Head, and today we are going to discuss the intrauterine copper T devices or the intrauterine devices. These intrauterine devices, what are they used for? They are used for contraception. They are mainly used in the women who want to delay their pregnancy for some years. Who are the candidates? Those who are breastfeeding, we can safely use that. Have difficulty in using the other reversible methods, like the patient is not able to take the pills daily, she finds it cumbersome, so she can go for the IUCDs. If she does not, basically the thing is they does not require supervision. Once you have instilled the copper T and it's for 5 or 10 years, you need not to worry about that. IUCD is the second most common method for voluntary female sterilization. So coming up to the history, how they are developed. First widely used IUCD was introduced in Germany by Grafenberg, and it was a ring of silkworm gut. Later came the medicated devices. Those they are containing the copper T or the copper inside or having the some hormone inside. First is the first generation medicated devices. They were started IUCDs. They were coated with metal, especially the copper, or they were having hormones or some anti-bleeding agents. The shape of a copper T is usually the T shape or the 7 shape because it accommodates the uterine cavity very easily. Now the second generation copper releasing IUCDs are multi-load 370, 380A, copper T 380s were developed. And finally the hormone containing IUCDs like the LNG, the progesterone sort were developed. Those were containing the progesterone. Now what is the mechanism of action? We should know. These copper Ts, they release the copper inside. So how do they act? They act by impeding the sperm ascent, because they change the cervical mucus and they prevent the sperm transport. They inhibit their capacity to fertilize the ova. Second thing, they cause chemical inflammatory reaction. We can say the chronic chemical endometritis inside the cavity, inside the endometrium. So it becomes unfamiliar, we can say it becomes abnormal, so it doesn't allow the implantation and the fertilization properly. Basically it causes the chemical endometritis in word we can say. What are the type of IUCDs? Initially introduced were the inert IUCDs, then came the copper IUCDs, then the hormone releasing IUCDs like the LNG IUCD and the progesterone. The most common inert IUCD that was used was a Lippes loop. Then came the copper releasing IUCDs. They are Gravigard, copper T200, Gyne T, that is called multi-load. There are many more in the list. And depending on their structure, the amount of the copper they are releasing, they have got a different life. Like 380 AD has got a life of 4 years. Copper T 380s have got 2.5 years. Copper T 380A and this Nova T, they were introduced. It is modified copper T with a silver core, effective of 5 years. Now comes the hormone releasing IUCD. They are of two types, progesterone SERT and LNJ IUCDs. Progesterone IUCD, first progesterone SERT is effective for 1 year and the LNJ IUCD is effective for 5 years. What are the benefits of using a hormone containing this IUCD? First, the benefit, other than the contraception, they provide the benefit of correcting the anemia. They correct the DUB because they have got hormone inside, especially the progesterone. They decrease the pain in the endometritis, endometriosis especially, and the adenomyosis, and beneficial effect on fibroid. They shrink the size of the fibroid. They do the endometrial atrophy, so the DUB is also corrected. If the DUB is corrected, the anemia will recover, and endometriosis and adenomyosis, as we all know, that they are suppressed by the progesterone. So the IUCD which are containing the hormones, they benefit the patient with these factors apart from the contraception also. But what are the drawbacks? They have got irregular bleeding. Patient might complain of irregular bleeding and oligomenorrhea in the first initial year after we insert the IUCDs. Patient can complain of amenorrhea, Another thing, they have got these hormone containing IUCD, they have got of a bigger size, so there might be a difficulty in insertion and patient might need some analgesic or some anesthesia when we are going to introduce the hormone containing IUCD, not the copper one. Patient can complain of acne, dizziness, headache, breast tenderness, nausea, vomiting, weight gain due to the hormonal content of the IUCD. Other uses of the IUCD, especially the hormone containing, is the use in adenomyosis, endometriosis and fibroid, because the progesterone that is contained inside the IUCDs have got some therapeutic effect on these modalities also. Now, when are we going to insert the copper T? We can insert it post-menstrually because it is the best advisable time. We should insert the copper T just the patient finishes the menses, because it avoids the chances of insertion in early stage of the pregnancy. Second thing, the advantage we have got, the cervix is soft, it is partially dilated, so it is very easy to insert the IUCD inside, and slight blood loss may not be noticeable because the patient is still bleeding due to her menses, and the bleeding that is occurring, slight bleeding or spotting that is occurring due to IUCD is also covered under its menstrual blood. Now coming up to the postcoital insertion, because IUCDs are also used for emergency contraception, so we can insert them postcoitally to prevent and interrupt the pregnancy following unprotected intercourse till 5 days after the coitus. First is post abortion. You know that after the abortion we cannot start any OCPL, but IUCDs are there. We can insert them if we have done an aseptic abortion or it's a clean cut one, so it can be safely inserted during the evacuation of the uterus. We can insert the copper T in a lactating women. The copper T doesn't influence the quality and quantity of the breast milk. So how to counsel? First, we have to assess the patient according to the WHO medical eligibility criteria, whether the patient fits in it or it's a contraindication. Like WHO category 4 for the IUCD is, these are the basically absolute contraindication for insertion of an IUCD, like immediate post-septic abortion. If the patient has undergone abortion and she has developed sepsis, we should not insert any copper T because it might further flare up the infection and the patient might deteriorate. Another thing, if a vaginal bleeding, that is unexplained vaginal bleeding, it might be due to some malignancy or some other factor. So once we don't know the cause of the vaginal bleeding, we should avoid to insert any IUCD, because the bleeding which will be caused by the copper T might mask the diagnosis of this important cause like the malignancy or something else. If the patient has got a malignant trophoblastic disease, IUCD is not used, it's a contraindication. Rather, we can use the OCPLs. If the patient is having cancer cervix, CA endometrium, uterine fibroid which has distorted the cavity, because if the cavity is distorted or it is increased in size, there are likely chances of the malalignment or the easy expulsion of the copper T. Distorted uterus current or present STD or PID if the patient is suffering from, or the pelvic tuberculosis, we should not insert the copper T. For LNG IUCD, any patient with ovarian carcinoma, current breast cancer, we should avoid inserting copper T. Now WHO category 3, here the risk overweigh the advantage, like it's also a relative contraindication for insertion of an copper T. First is postpartum, it is 48 hours, more than 48 hours and less than 4 weeks. Like the best time to insert the copper T is just post placental, like once the placenta is delivered, you immediately insert the copper T. Because once the patient has passed the 48 hours, there are likely chances of more chances of perforation, more chances of expulsion. So if we have missed the opportunity of inserting the copper T for 48 hours postpartum, better to avoid it and call the patient 4 or 6 weeks postpartum for the copper T insertion. If the patient is having benign trophoblastic disease, yes, we have, because the bleeding might hinder, may confuse us with the bleeding that will be occurring due to copper T might confuse us with the diagnosis or the follow-up of the benign trophoblastic disease. Any suspected patients of ovarian cancer increase risk of STDs and AIDS, so we should avoid. Now, what are the relative contraindication for LNG IUCDs? Postpartum breastfeeding patients we should not insert. Current history of ischemic heart disease, these are the contraindication because of the hormonal content. If the patient is having a viral hepatitis, cirrhosis or liver tumors, like any liver disease, so we should avoid inserting any any hormone containing device, because this hormone will be metabolized by the liver, and because of the liver disease the metabolism is altered and the doses are also altered. Now the WHO category 2 overweighs the WHO category 2, that becomes the indication for insertion, like the parity, nulliparous patient, postpartum breastfeeding, post-abortal, complicated valvular heart disease, vaginal bleeding or severe dysmenorrhea. In all these patients we can insert, but with proper advice. Now for WHO category 1, that these are the indications, like these are the contraindication for the for providing the hormone containing devices, hormone containing pills. So we can introduce the copper T in these patients, like any patient who is smoking, obesity, breastfeeding, ischemic heart disease, we can easily insert the copper Ts. How to insert? We should not push it inside, we should always take the withdrawal method. And another thing is the aseptic administration. And the aim is to avoid to introduce any infection at the time of this device insertion. Okay, now this is all we have discussed. Directions for the use. When what are you going to advise to the patient? That it will not interfere with the sexual act. To detect any expulsion, she should touch her, she should take care of her pads, and we should also guard them regarding the that the IUCDs do not give protection for the STD, so she should use some barrier method for that. And period may be heavier in the early stages of the early cycles after insertion of this copper T. And when to remove it? When the date has expired, where the patient is complaining of pelvic pain, abnormal excessive bleeding, and acute pelvic inflammation, displaced IUCD, pregnancy, uterine or cervical malignancy, and menopause. So this is all for the topic, and we can conclude